Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 161. Tesla's Model S and X earned some more awards. And here in Europe, Tesla is really showing off some dominance. But Tesla is also heading for new records in China. And we got some great example of Tesla's long-term valuation this week. And we also got to see the Giga Shanghai factory from the inside. And Tesla's full self-driving beta version 11 is out. And Nissan gets a junk rating. And former Ford CEO Mark Fields says that Tesla is one generation ahead of other automakers right now. And GM is pushing back their EV targets once again. What a surprise. And also asking if its employees want to leave. All of this and much more on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Here in Europe, Tesla is really showing off some dominance in the market. Not only did the Tesla Model Y become the best-selling car in my country of Denmark in the first 2 months of the year, beating the long-time favorite, the much smaller and affordable Peugeot 208, and selling more than twice the amount of units compared to the third place, where we find the little Citroën C3. But not only in my little country, but in the biggest car market in Europe, Tesla is crushing it. Tesla sales in Germany have continued to climb, jumping up by 87.8% compared to the first 2 months of last year. That is some insane growth Tesla is able to do. And Tesla's Model Y did become the second best-selling car of any kind in Germany in February. And we can see, thanks to Roland on Twitter, that we can already see Q1 will be a new record for Tesla in Germany, as they with the first 2 months have sold 12,000 units. So if Tesla is able to deliver something similar in March, we should see Tesla's Q1 with at least 18,000 units. And last year they made 14,000 units, but I think we are looking more at 20,000 units in Q1 in Germany. So Tesla is beating all the old records here in Europe, and Tesla is truly speeding up. Just look at this chart from Roland as well, showing Tesla's growth in many countries in Europe trailing 3 months. And if we look at Germany, we can see there is no linear growth in sight. That rocket is just going straight up. And we know that Berlin is now producing 4,000 units per week. And with all the ships that have been coming to Europe from China with the Model 3, will really make Tesla sales shoot up even more. But even though Tesla is killing it, we can't say the same thing for everyone. Major brands including Ford, Fiat and Honda all saw sales contract during the month of February, counter the overall market, which grew by 2.8% year over year. So it seems like it is the old guys that are having trouble here in Europe, and definitely not Tesla, as someone like Gordon Johnson has been saying for years, because the competition is too fierce in Europe. Right now, Tesla is still the all-dominating force in Europe. Just look at the Model Y sales in Germany. Nothing comes close. And do you want to get more knowledge faster? Then join me on Blinkist. Not just download the app and start listening to blinks that are these small audio bites that take all the key takeaways from a whole book and put them into these 10 to 15 minutes blinks. No, truly. Come join me and start sharing blinks you have found and learn some amazing stuff from. Because when a patron of mine shared a book with me, I thought, why don't we all do this? Help each other to find more cool knowledge, to help each other to grow and learn. So I have started a space within Blinkist where I have shared some of the best blinks I've heard so far, whether that being to improve your health or learn how to become more innovative with Simon Sinek, or just learn how to learn faster. But Blinkist also has got a new feature called Blinkist Connect. It allows every Blinkist premium plan to be shared by 2 different accounts, so you can discuss and share blinks with your friends at no additional cost to you, and is free for the person you invite as long as you share it with them. So this is very cool. So you will get a 2 for the price of 1 here. So down below you will not just find the link to Blinkist, where you can get 25% off Blinkist premium membership and enjoy 2 memberships for the price of 1 and start your 7-day free trial, but I will also leave a link to my shared space called Best in Tesla Learning Space, where I have shared some of my favorite blinks and will add more over time. So if you're already using Blinkist, please click the link down below, and I hope you will also share your favorite blinks so we can all learn together. And as you can see, you can even leave little notes about the book to your friends sharing this space. So please do yourself a favor, click the link below, get started with Blinkist, and come join me in my space so we can all help each other to grow a little more every single day. And a big thanks to Blinkist for sponsoring this video. And speaking of high demand here in Europe, well, Tesla is also heading towards a new sales record in China. And we also got the numbers out of China, and they are a bit bigger than what the insurance numbers told us. So just again, remember the insurance number many are looking at for China is not 100% accurate, but Tesla got close to 34,000 units sold in China in February domestically, and Tesla's wholesale was 74,402 units and exported about 40,000 units of those cars. So Tesla was actually the biggest exporter of new energy vehicles out of China, but was also the number 2 in wholesales in China. We can also see BYD is the biggest player in China, but when it comes to globally, BYD is nowhere near Tesla's level, as it only exported about 15,000 units in February. And Volkswagen is not really catching up or gaining in the race between Tesla and Volkswagen we have talked about so much through the last couple of years. It is getting irrelevant in China. Volkswagen in China in February had a wholesale output of less than 7,000 new energy vehicles. So Tesla is still 10x bigger than Volkswagen in China. So clearly the Germans are still struggling quite a bit in the biggest car market in the world. Tesla, on the other hand, is looking to beat their old quarterly record in China, and remember, this being Q1, that will probably beat Q4, so Tesla is still growing as fast as possible. No seasonal downtime as we see with many of the old boys still having, even with their EV sales. Tesla beats their own record quarter after quarter after quarter. So let's just underscore this one more time. There is no demand problem. Tesla's Tom Su shared some juicy details about the next generation factory and EV platform. Matthew spoke with Tom Su after the Investor Day presentation, and he shared key information that is not known until now. Firstly, the next generation EV platform will be built in Mexico first, and then they will copy-paste production to other gigafactories. So that means that down the road, in maybe 5 to 10 years, Tesla's already existing factories will be able to produce about twice the amount of units, as they only use half the footprint and of course half the price. This is actually quite a huge deal. The Berlin factory is supposed to be able to produce 2 million vehicles when fully ramped and built out of it all the 4 phases. Shanghai about the same amount, Fremont 1 million, Texas at least 2 to 3 million. So Tesla's factories before the one in Mexico have a capacity of about 7 to 8 million vehicles. But when they will get the production line upgrade for the next generation production line and update the Model 3 and Model Y to the next generation platform, we are probably looking at more like 10 to 15 millions instead, just from those 4 factories. And then we put the new factory that is supposed to be even bigger than anything else on top of all of this. My guess is that this monster of a factory will be able to at least build 4 million units of this smaller compact next generation vehicle. So just with these 5 factories Tesla has, we could be looking at maybe 15 to 19 million units. But Tesla is not done. As Tom said to Matthew, Tesla will be building another Gigafactory at the same time as the Gigafactory in Mexico. Yeah, the roadmap to 20 million vehicles look more and more likely with this new generation factory and vehicle, maybe even sandbagging a bit. And that factory might be located in Indonesia, as Tesla and Indonesia are planning a meeting again in the coming days, state officials said. The country will roll out an incentive to buy EVs to attract investment from companies like Tesla, so Giga Indonesia seems still to be on the table. And Tom also said that the first Generation 3 vehicle will roll off the production line in the Mexico factory in 18 to 24 months, as they should start construction in about 3 months, so sometime in June, but the Mexican president have said maybe even 4. And Tom also said that they hope to be able to beat China's construction record of 9 months with this new factory. Remember, as Tom said, all Gigafactories architecture, design and construction is done in-house. That is why Tesla is able to build factories much faster than anyone else. And the reason why Shanghai ramped faster than Austin and Berlin, Tom said, was because Shanghai copied Fremont's production, but Austin and Berlin had to figure out the structural battery pack. When asked about if the next-gen EV would have any paint, he just said, "Paint is expensive." Yes, the next generation EV platform and production method is just not really understood by the mainstream media and Wall Street. Tesla will make more electric vehicles than any other car company has ever been making cars, but with a profit margins that has never been seen before in the industry either. This is game over. But the market doesn't really seem to have realized that yet, but probably will when they start spitting out next generation models in Mexico by the end of 2024. And Tesla Europe shared a Twitter post from a German user that shared a little thought about his 8-year-old Tesla Model S. And by the way, also on the subject of sustainability, product care. My Tesla Model S turned 8 this year. You still get updates today, and at the beginning could only do 3G instead of LTE and had no CCS or CHAdeMO. I was even able to upgrade the infotainment system without a new car. Just try to let this one sink in. Many EV models you buy today can't even do a real over-the-air update, but especially not EVs from 2015. We are talking about pre-Chevy Bolt here. It was when GM had the Volt. I don't think anyone that has the Volt has got a free over-the-air update on their car here in 2023. As the German man writes here, he even got a whole new infotainment system in his 8-year-old car. And then you hear people say, but Tesla need to update their models. No, Tesla is constantly updating their cars. They don't need to change the bumper of the car to get people excited. They just give their owners new features all the time for free to get them excited about the car they already have. And as Mark said here in this tweet, this also matters when we are talking about sustainability, that people don't have to get a new car all the time to get the latest features and functions. They just get an over-the-air update, just like my almost 4-year-old Tesla Model 3 is still up to date. It has the exact same software as my brand new Model 3 Performance me and my family just got, as we would like to have 2 cars, but I still really enjoy my Tesla Model 3. It still drives as good as it has ever done. It has gotten so many new features during the last 4 years, it is ridiculous, like Sentry mode that has also become much better over the last couple of years. It got 5% more peak power and can charge 20% faster than from when I bought it. It got Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, Beach Bucket 2, Racing, Dash Cam, better navigation system, scheduled charging, preheating of the battery, and a lot more controls for the car through the app, just to mention a fraction of all the new features that my car can do today that it could not do when I bought it all for free. Yeah, hope you're enjoying your Audi e-tron from 2019 or your Mercedes EQC that have not got any over-the-air update, and those cars have just got old. Mine has just got better. And surprise, surprise, GM is pushing back their EV targets once again. CEO Mary Barra has called 2023 a breakthrough year for the company's electric vehicle push, but it is off to a slow start, to say the least. More than 15 months after GM began building the Hummer EV, the company has been making roughly a dozen a day. So about 12 Hummers a day. GM has sold roughly 1,000 Lyrics since it began building them in March 2022. A year ago. This is freaking very embarrassing. For context, Tesla sold an estimated 252,000 Model Ys in the US last year. So yeah, as Mary Barra said, they can absolutely catch up to Tesla. They only need about 252 years more, and they will be right where Tesla is today. From the leader in the automotive industry for more than 77 years. But after the great Mary Barra took over, their sales has been falling off a cliff and has now become the joke of the automotive industry. I mean, 1,000 EVs sold after a year of production? Yeah, let's just start building some more models, because that is going to make everything better. They are not even in the top 4 of EV manufacturers in the US. I really hope their customers will get an outstanding EV once they finally get the GM EVs, because the demand for EVs are strong. So of course GM has many customers waiting for the EVs. So I hope the EVs can live up to the hype, because customers are already frustrated, as Utah dealer Chris Hammersmere said. His dealership have more than 500 people on the Hummer waiting list, and it has been difficult to keep customers up to date on the status of their order. Let's see how much more time GM has to push back their targets before the end of this year. And the sad saga of BMW's confusing leadership continues, as they don't really seem to be able to see the paradigm shift we're in. Despite the commitment to EVs, BMW plans to continue using combustion engines for a long time to come. The X-Series SUV will be built with gasoline and diesel engines until well into the next decade, according to sources. To this end, the models are to be further developed for the period after 2027 on a new vehicle platform that enables all-drive concepts. Oh my god. And Mercedes is also keeping its options open. Officially, the Stuttgart-based group is planning to sell almost exclusively electric cars from the end of this decade. However, with one decisive restriction: the electric-only strategy applies wherever market condition permits. Yeah. In view of sluggish sales of the electric car in China and the US, Mercedes could therefore stick with the combustion engines for longer. One indication of this, according to the Insider, the Stuttgart-based company once again modernized the M176 V8 engine. Neither BMW or Mercedes are committing on the information. Both manufacturers actually want to grow strongly with electric cars by 2030 and are investing heavily in this sector. However, not even a tenth of their sales are EVs. In addition, the ban of sales of ICE cars is planned for 2035 in Europe. I mean, are they just this dumb? In China and the US, there is no phase-out date at all. BMW CEO Ola Sipsa doesn't think much of a fixed phase-out date for the internal combustion engines. There may be competitors who would rather trim their diversity and thus take a shrinking course, the manager recently explained. All I can say is that's not our idea. No, you are on a shrinking course, you just don't know it yet. BMW, the best domestic premium manufacturer in China, was only able to sell 44,000 pure electric vehicles in China last year. This compared with the sale of more than 700,000 combustion engines in the most important single market for the German auto industry. That is rapidly shifting to EVs. BMW will feel the shrinking course already here in 2023, especially in China and Europe. This will end very badly for BMW. They are aiming for sales of 3 million cars per year. I am willing to bet that will never happen. Tesla has a much better chance of getting to 20 million than BMW has to get to 3 million, as they will continue to make cars that are going out of business. Sure, BMW, keep making their paper camera film or the flip phone or rent out DVDs. It ended so well for Blockbuster, Kodak and Nokia. Good luck. And let's get our monthly update about Tesla's Giga factories. That means handing it over to Brian from My Tesla Weekend. Take it away, Brian.
Hey Lars, well there is a lot to cover this month. In Shanghai, there's a new bridge being built connecting the site to the roadway to the west. In Berlin, they've expanded the North Holding Lot where the trucks park waiting to go in and out. The stamping building has roof beams and new vaults for foundations. Along the highway, we see a lot of clearing. This is to facilitate road widening and the new highway interchange going in just to the southwest of the site. On the southwest part of the building, there's more solar panels that have been added and a lot more mountings for solar panels over the general assembly area, and the employee parking and the solar canopies are on hold. There's a lot of road widening going on here and a new interchange going in, a lot of work, and it's coming along. The temporary switchyard in the central area has been removed. The train station appears to be a bit on hold. The southeast entrance has been paved. By the 4680 building, the retaining wall there has been backfilled. The road's been paved and connected. At the 4680 building itself, the loading platforms are gone. Almost everything's inside, at least things that need to go into higher floors. This bodes well for getting into production this year. And at the north of the site, there are a cajillion castings. The logistics lot is well sorted out, in motion all the time. And at the northeast of the site, the trailer yard is expanding, because as you can see, it's quite full. In Texas, at the northeast corner, you can also see castings piling up. Along the east side, there's some concrete being reworked, because what would Texas be without some concrete rework? The south end of the building is likewise very well cleared. It looks like construction here may begin soon. And a lot of staining has taken place on the surface of the building. You might think it's paint, but it's stained because it's concrete. On the west side, the cyber entrance is looking real sharp. Over in the parking lot, there are solar canopies. I assume they had permits for these ones. Over at the cathode building, the HVAC on the ground level is in use, and there's a lot of progress that has taken place inside, with equipment going in and finishing work inside. Next to it, just to the west, is the die shop, which now has footings inside, and a roof, and floor work has been done as well. All this is waiting on is walls, and of course the finishing inside. Over at the switchyard, we're seeing a lot more equipment going in. This should be ready to switch on probably in 2 months would be my guess. And the only other thing in Texas to note is that the installation of the very large solar array on the roof appears to be on hold. I don't know. I think they're waiting for the switchyard to go in to better handle the power load, or maybe the Megapack installation to go in up next to the switchyard. Back to you, Lars.
Thank you so much for that update, Brian. See you next month. Also at the Fully Charged live show in the UK. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Tesla has increased the price of its 2-hour Megapack commercial energy storage product by $100,000 to $2.7 million. The current wait time in the US for a Megapack is almost 2 years. This business is only about how fast can Tesla scale up, and we will get a peek into that this year. Crazy to think that most analysts doesn't even have this included in their earnings estimates. boy, are they going to be wrong. And T&E shared their prediction of battery production in Europe for 2030, and Tesla's Berlin factory is sitting at the top of the list with 125 gigawatt hours. Even though I think that is very conservative to think that Berlin will only be able to produce 125 gigawatt hours in 2030. Elon has said that they will eventually be 200 to 250 gigawatt hours and not just the 100 gigawatt hours they are aiming for now. And we did see a cool video this week from a tour inside the Shanghai factory, seeing stuff we have never seen before. And the employees said that the Shanghai factory is running at its full capacity at the moment, so that's nice to hear. I will leave a link to the video down below. And we also get the retail sales for new energy passenger vehicles in China that were 438,000 units in February, up 59% year over year. Yeah, ICE is going down. And Toyota's BZ3 with BYD's motor and batteries are starting accepting pre-orders in China, with the price starting at $24,500. So a very nice price, but basically just a BYD electric car with a Toyota badge. And the Tesla Model S and X earned the Kelley Blue Book Best Resale Value Award for 2023. According to the study, Tesla's Model S retained its value best after 5 years of use in the category of luxury electric cars. And the Tesla Model X has become a winner among the luxury electric SUVs. And former Ford CEO Mark Fields says, Tesla is one generation ahead of other automakers right now. Tesla held Investor Day to share the result of their work and emphasizes its superiority over competitors. Yep, indeed. Former CEO of Ford that has quite a bit of experience in the industry kind of gets it. Wall Street analysts, not so much. They have no advantages, as Gordon Johnson say. Maybe you should take a talk with Mark here, and he can learn you a thing or two about the technological advantage Tesla has over everyone else. And I would just add though, Tesla is more like 2 generations ahead. Tesla has already begun recruiting employees to organize the work at the Giga, Mexico. The company is forming a finance and business operation team to support its ambitious goal at the new Gigafactory. And Nissa's critic rating was just cut to junk status by S&P Global Rating this week, as performance of the company has been sluggish for more than 3 years, the rating agency said in a statement. But that is just one example of an old legacy automaker in trouble. GM is also out trying to cut costs by offering buybacks to its employees. Over to you, Phil.
Good morning, Carl. General Motors will be sending an offer letter, basically already has sent an offer letter to the majority of its salaried workforce, offering voluntary buyouts. Remember, GM is in the midst of cutting about $2 billion. That's the target in terms of how much money it expects to cut this year. Essentially, it's looking for savings. And we've seen this with other automakers where they have either announced buyouts and or layoffs. There will be an offer for a buyout. How many take it, how successful this is, and whether or not this keeps the company from having to initiate some type of a broader layoff, that remains to be seen. But we shouldn't be surprised, guys. We've seen this with other automakers, and now we're seeing it with GM. It is moving to keep costs in line as much as possible. Back to you.
But I thought they had all the money in the world, those old guys. Guess not, as GM is now asking its employees if they want to leave. And Full Self-Driving Beta 11 is being pushed out to the early beta testers, as K10 shared on Twitter. And the first reviews from the testers has been very positive. So that is very important, as this build is on the whole new single-stack architecture. And Chuck even shared that the car saw a tire rolling down the highway. Very impressive. And Elon also wrote on Twitter, version 11 is a major step change improvement. Still need another point releases of polish before rollout to wide release. This is a very important milestone. And the ICE industry is falling apart. Ferrari shows off their new $400,000 Purosangue that comes with no navigation, but Apple CarPlay and Android Auto option. Yeah, even though they write on their website unlike anything else. Well, it does come with the same infotainment system as everyone else. And no wonder they buried its performance numbers way down on the website, as your Tesla Model 3 performance will do a quicker 0 to 60 time than this Ferrari, and cost 1/8 of the cost. Or you can get both the Model S and X Plaid for the same price of this Ferrari, and they will beat the Ferrari on all performance, software and safety. And you can get those two in brand new beautiful colors, the Ultra Red. Very nice. Definitely not like anything else. But yeah, $400,000 Ferrari with Google Auto. Yeah, not my cup of tea. But ICE cars are collapsing, as I made a whole video about, and now we see more numbers confirming this. ICE vehicle sales are down 20% from their peak of 2017, losing shares to battery electric vehicles. Global ICE sales went from 85.9 million sales in 2017 to 69. Yeah, 69, of course it's 69. 0.1 million in 2022, while BEV sales went from 0.7 million sales in 2017 to 7.53 million sales in 2022, nearly an 11x increase. You don't have to be a genius to see where this is heading. And GM revealed in details the new Ultra Cruise. Much like Mercedes, GM has chosen to use 3 sensor array: visual, ultrasonic and LiDAR. So we know they will never get to fully autonomy with an AI system, as they rely on LiDAR and ultrasonic just like everyone else. Except Tesla, of course, and this will delay how fast they can scale. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my latest video, link down below. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest members and patrons of this YouTube channel. My new Patreon producers, Mikers, Michael E. Dennis, Donald D. Baker and Lars Jespersen. And my new YouTube producers, Gamma Sherpert and Richard Flatley. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week. And this week's winner is Robert Baumann. Robert is a performance patron of mine, and thank you so much for all your support. I will contact you on Patreon to get your address so I can send you your Supporter of the Week winner t-shirt. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. A life lesson from an 11-year-old kid. Because they get it. Picked up my sons from school and stopped to get gas, invited them to get out of the car and learn how to do it. Afterward, the 11-year-old said, "Thanks for the life lesson, but I will never drive a gas car." 13-year-old said, "This is like the time you showed us how a payphone works." Yep, times are changing and the young ones know what the future is. And that is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it here on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And don't forget, if you want to become an executive producer and get news articles every day, Monday to Friday, the video series Becoming News, access to all my research, charts and spreadsheets, and become a part of my little exclusive club of executive producers, head over to bestinTesla.com and join with the members button. But hurry up, as it will be limited to 100 members only. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to a donation options in the show notes. And also as simple as hitting the super like button.
But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible, and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.